What is up, guys? This is Between the Pylons, and I'm your host, John Camacho. And today we are talking about Jeudy, technically for the second time. This video is coming out a little bit late because I had some technical difficulties with the camera that's recording me right now. But we got all that fixed. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. We are talking about Jeudy, the wide receiver out of Alabama. Insanely talented receiver. I do want to start by giving a shout out to my buddy Dylan, who's a friend of mine. We've been friends since high school, and he kind of called me out for what I said on my podcast. At the end of the podcast last week, we did a little thing, CeeDee Lamb versus Jeudy, kind of an interesting conversation, and I came out very much in support of CeeDee Lamb over Jeudy. I still stand by that. My grades work out the same way, where CeeDee Lamb is ahead of Jeudy. I was hyperbolic and a little bit over the top in my arguments, and I tend to do that from time to time. I really try not to do that on this channel, but in the podcast free form conversation, it happened, and I wanted to apologize specifically to him because he's right. He called me out. I kind of went back and listened to it and realized I sound like a Jeudy hater. I am absolutely not. Jeudy is an incredibly talented receiver. I am going to have a video that comes out maybe in the next couple weeks. I'm not really sure when I'll be able to get a chance to get that out, but I'm going to do a video about CeeDee Lamb versus Jeudy, where I will come at it from a very even-keeled, not totally biased perspective like I did in the podcast last week. But with all that being said, let's talk about an incredibly talented receiver out of Alabama. All right, and here we are, guys, with the Jeudy skill chart. And as you can see, an incredibly talented player. Let's start with route running here and athleticism. I mean, this is out of 9, guys. You can't get much higher. He has excellent route running, one of the best route runners in the class, and it's really not even close. I can't think of another great route runner. Maybe Van Jefferson, which maybe is an obscure name compared to Jeudy, but as far as route runners, he is at the top of the line. Athleticism, he is somehow better at athleticism, and it's just because he is so explosive. And that's really what jumps out at you right away. And we'll get into the film portion of this where I'll show that. But his explosiveness on every single play is absolutely incredible. Match that with his quickness, yards after catch, his ability to change directions very quickly, his acceleration. You have a player with elite physical traits. Elite physical traits. And it really does go around the circle. Now, as you can see, there are 2 issues with this circle. This is so close to being the best player in the class. And I will tell you, if these 2 things were average or just, really just average, he'd be the best player in the class. He would be, or at least for me. For a lot of people, he already is. For me, he would be the best player in the class. The reason he's not is because he drops a lot of footballs. And it's just concentration drops. And I will get into it. When we get to the film portion of this video, I'll give you a couple theories as to why I think why, but it's an issue. And for me, the way my grading works, hands is really important. and I've talked about how I don't just grade, catching the ball. I grade how you catch the ball, and I grade, the way you catch it. And it's not abysmal. Like, this isn't 0. And I don't want to be hyperbolic. As I mentioned at the top of the video, I was a little bit hyperbolic talking about him on the podcast. I don't want to do that here. He's a very good player. He can catch the football. That's not the issue, but he's not consistently catching the ball. And to be honest, that kind of dwarfs his overall potential if that's going to be an issue at the next level. Maybe it's not. Maybe this is just, a college issue that he'll be able to get past. He'll get in front of the jugs machine and he'll get through this. But it seems to me the guys that you see that just aren't very good catchers of the football don't just magically become that at the next level. So I think this is always going to be an issue. With that being said, you're still always going to have, at least, for the time being, you're always going to have that athleticism. You're always going to have the other parts of his game that make him an elite prospect. All right, guys, and the first thing I want to show you guys is his ability just with a ball in his hand. You're going to see this is a design play. Get him the ball in the flat, see what he can do with it, and just watch this. I mean, man, I don't know what to say. He just made two guys look absolutely silly. And then he has the breakaway speed that, to get extra yards. He's the complete package when it comes to athletic traits. You can't ask for more than that. That is so impressive. Right here, you're going to see his route running. He's sitting right here in press coverage. Just watch what he's going to make this dude look silly. Just, ooh. Like, what do you do to that? You can't do anything to that. Very rarely do I watch guys and be like, I don't know what the corner could have done. And usually you see it, when guys make like just miraculous catches, you're like, oh, what could the corner have done? He's on the line. There's nothing this dude could have done. Absolutely out of his league. And that's just Jerry Jeudy. Does this every play. Watch Jerry Jeudy right here. He actually doesn't catch the ball here, but just watch the route running. I'm actually going to slow it down for you guys here. Watch the route running here. Look at that. Look at that move. God, that's sick. I mean, again, makes the cornerback look silly. All right, guys. Now watch this. There's two things to keep in mind here because we are going to talk about the drops. But, I mean, you're also going to see him break away. You don't really see it, but you can see the separation at least. That's kind of part of this. The other part is, man, hands. And granted, you're not completely out of this game, but that could have been huge. You could have put your team, within 14 points with a quarter and a half left to play. So you're at least, have a shot at winning the game. That's where you could have done here. And you just like to see him make those kind of plays, like just stone hands. And I understand that's a tough catch, but it's not just that. You see a guy do that, it's whatever. Watch him right here in the slot. Tries to body it and it pops right off him. It's just unfortunate. It's like his Achilles heel, and it really sucks. He's right here in the slot at the top of your screen, and you're gonna see this one. I'm actually slowed down. Two things. One, do look at the route running because it is impressive, and two, it's his hands again, and it's consistent. These aren't the only three. Clips that I can find of him not being able to catch. It happens a lot, and it really is an issue, and it's the main reason for me. I do have CeeDee Lamb ahead of him, and it's also, as far as the way my program works, that's a big piece of what a receiver's supposed to do. So yeah, it's going to hurt him, maybe even more than it should. And here, this is the last one. This was actually 2000. That was the 2018 Georgia game. That was the SEC championship. Just another drop. He's just consistent throughout his career at Alabama. That was really why I put that in there. And here, I do want to show hands here. I feel like I put too many like bad plays there in a row for a player who deservedly so should be a top 20 pick in the NFL draft. Just want to show he can't catch. It's not all bad. It's not like he just absolutely can't catch anything. And I realize that. But overall, that's his Achilles heel. That's my issue with Jerry Jeudy. Other than that, I hope I showed the incredible explosiveness, the incredible route running. I mean, every single play, every single down, he makes guys look silly, and it's so impressive. There's a reason people were calling him one of the greatest prospects to come out, because the things that he can do, nobody else can do. If I didn't have the issue with his hands, he would be probably the best wide receiver prospect I've ever seen for a really long time. Like, I would go so far as to say that I'm not going to see another one better for a really long time. But that's not the case. To be fair, he's the second best receiver prospect I've ever seen. I think CeeDee Lamb's better. And like I said, I am going to have a video where I really dissect that. This is the Jerry Jeudy draft video, and I understand I'm maybe bringing up CeeDee Lamb more than I should. It's just because I understand that when I do something like this, I kind of have to defend the fact that he is maybe lower than he should be. And with that being said, let me show you guys my score for Jerry Jeudy. All right, and here we are, guys. 7.33. Grades out just slightly more as a slot receiver, but that's just, I mean, that's really minute. That's really not an issue. He can play all over the field. He's a great X receiver too, obviously. All-around great player. 7.33 is the highest receiver I've ever graded. This is an elite number. You don't get a lot of these with my program or in the way I grade players. So that's really impressive. And that's really awesome. So we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna kind of lay off the whole hands thing. Overall, we are talking about a guy who has explosiveness, acceleration, and all-around athletic traits that you just don't see from guys very often. I mean, it borders on generational, and that's a term that's way too often thrown out by draft guys. And I'm not a guy who really has I don't have a reputation for saying that too much because I haven't been doing this very long. But I will say generational talent when it comes to his athletic abilities. But all right, guys, that is my take on Jerry Jeudy. I hope you like it. I hope you like this video. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is a player that I think there should be a lot of people that are going to see him as the #1 receiver. Part of the reason that I don't is just because I build a program that takes every trait into account. And when you have one trait, can bring down your score altogether, and that's just the way the Wawa score works. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's all it is. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Hit me up on Twitter. Follow Between the Pylons podcast. That's really good stuff, and there's going to be a lot of draft stuff if you are into that. And please come back for another video, guys. Thanks.